network to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
Yo, it's Ebro. It's Laura. Rosenberg is, so yeah, he doodling on himself somewhere. He's got a,
Rosenberg.
what's that called?
Hey, bro.
No, I'm serious.
Colonoscopy.
He's got to call. He's old now. We getting
he
old.
don't,
People
he don't
getting
want to smoke.
colonoscopy.
That's why he not here. He
He's
don't
what?
want. He don't want to smoke
Smoke? Why?
with me.
Why? Y'all still got,
Yeah.
About what?
Because I will never let it stop.
which one?
All of them.
More
Many
than
of
one
them.
issue?
That's why he not here. I know how this industry works. Niggas be ducking fades.
He really does have a colonoscopy. He's been
I'm
prepping
not
for
saying he
days.
doesn't, but it's just
He planned it knowing.
opportune. It's an opportune moment to not sit
No, but why do you and Rosenberg
across
got
the
smoke
desk.
for each other, though?
He knows why, don't you, Rosie?
But tell
And
us
his
why,
name
because
Peter.
we don't know.
Was it Paul? One of those biblical figures, huh?
We don't know.
I know. He knows.
I don't think he knows.
He fucking knows. Can I cuss?
I mean, you just
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
It happened already.
In retrospect. Anyway, how are you all?
No, we're blessed. And Drill Music in Zion, a new project.
Yeah, let's get that
It's
out the
the
way.
first album since Drogas Wave.
Yeah, first full album. The intro defines it. And took my sister, who's a great poet. Shout out to Aisha Jaco. She opens up the cool food and liquor with poems.
Right.
And so I was like, yo, what does this mean? And you'll know why, because I did the album in 3 days.
In 3 days.
Yeah, from scratch.
Now, if y'all don't know, Lupe is a wordsmith, the rapper's
Don't
favorite
do that.
rappers.
Don't do that. I have hit records. I have
No,
that you dance to at
but I was
birthday
gonna say the
parties.
reason that you could do it in 3 days is because you're always staying sharp.
I like how you tried to clean that up.
No, but that's where I was really going.
Stop
Because
throwing me-
sometimes,
Stop throwing me to the underground. Somebody just said that like he's the great underground rapper. Like, nigga, I have sold millions of records to your children. Like, what are you talking
what are you
about?
talking about? But that wasn't
Never
my
seen
point.
your kids in the underground,
Well,
in the cypher. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about how sometimes you hear somebody put an album together in a couple of days and it sounds rushed.
Yeah, this sounds
You-
rushed.
You feel like this sounds rushed?
Rushed in my way though,
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
because I'm a wordsmith and a rapper's rapper. So.
See, I told you this guy was a troll. I told you, man. That's what he loves to do. He loves to fuck with people, man.
Outside of the music, though.
That's what he loves.
Lupe,
Look, we've been in here for 20 minutes with this guy. This is the first time he's laughed joyously.
can you tell me about your album cover, though? It's a beautiful, what looks like acrylic paint in this, I don't know, like, explain it to me. What's the meaning behind it?
It's Pac-Man.
I'm looking at it.
So I've been painting for like maybe the past like 8-9 years. And so I painted my first cover of Tattoo on Youth, which is like my 5th album. And ever since then, I've been kind of just like, I'm gonna just do my own albums. And so
I love that.
when I did drill music, I was like, I need a cover. And I was like, let me just go back to the formula that I had with Tattoo and pick a painting from the collection. That painting was from a show I did at Art Basel. And it was just in the crib. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna use that.
Fire.
Yo, it is
It's
Pac-Man.
beautiful. Yeah, now that he breaks it down.
Yeah, you got to turn it sideways.
Yeah, there's a whole meta-narrative. Like, most people don't care about this. There's like 7 fans who do. They live their life by this. There's so many Easter eggs in the record. And you'll see them on Reddit like, yo, is that Pac-Man? That looks like Pac-Man. And there's a whole narrative that's like, the stuff that the rapper cares about.
But it's not underground, though.
It's nerd. It's beyond that. It's like a subreddit. Subreddit level. You feel me? But yeah, but no, the album cover has like multiple meanings. There's a meta narrative. It kind of speaks to the title Drill Music in Zion, and that's why I kind of picked it, because it was like, oh, that does look like a drill, doesn't it? Right? And it does have these other aspects, and it ties into the record, and it's engaging. And I painted it, and like the last album cover that I painted, which is Tetsuo, is worth $275,000.
Wow.
Painting. Yeah. So trying to do the same with this one.
Yo, Laura's in the art world more than me.
I mean, it's-
her and her husband collect stuff.
Oh, nice. Cool.
a little something.
They
Nothing great.
got some pieces. But when you say $275,000 for a piece that you did,
Yeah.
for someone like me who don't know shit about the art world,
You know $275,000.
I know that. Means something.
That's all you need to know.
But I want to know, for an artist, for a painter,
Yeah.
how does that translate for you into helping pay your bills and take care of your family and the things that are, that you need to do as a human? Like,
I mean, when I started painting, like I went and bought a bunch of stuff. I mentored under a few people, like apprenticed under a few painters. Because I was doing photography and some other stuff. This is way off the subject. Drill Music in Zion, June 24th.
That's right.
Drill Music in Zion, Friday. Drill Music in Zion right
But it's
now.
all
I'll let
tied
you
together,
edit.
though. It's
I'll let
all
you
tied
figure out how to edit
But
all
we'll
that out.
follow
And
it.
I blended it all in to make it really hard
ain't
to
gotta
like
edit
find
it.
a spot to cut.
He ain't gotta edit it.
Whatever. So I was doing photography and there was a thing that I wanted to paint, and I was just gonna hire somebody to paint it for me. And my homegirl, shout out to Tanya Calderon, was like, nah, I'm gonna just show you how to paint. So come into the studio and I'm gonna teach you. So I mentored with her for like a year, and then I just started to paint, and then I started to have shows, and I started to sell paintings, and I did my first painting show and I sold everything. So I've been like, my goal was to just make back all the money I spent, on it, which wasn't too crazy, but I made like 90x. So it's just there. It's a thing that, if I needed to jump back into, I could do. It's not about the money though. It's not about the money.
Do you ever get emotionally attached to some paintings? You're like, I can't let this one go.
Yeah. There's still some that I keep, or like the way I pull it is like it's for the family, So the paintings will be my posthumous albums. Right. You know what I'm saying? So my little sisters actually own the rights to all my work.
That's beautiful.
So some stuff I sell,
so
some
dope.
stuff I keep. And the reason the Tetsuo painting is worth like $250,000 because that's what dude offered. And it was like, but nah, I'm straight.
Got it.
Never sell that. I might donate that to something. We'll see.
Well, and the reason I asked it, and off the subject of Drill Music in Zion out Friday, June 24th, is I don't think that everyone always knows what's going on with Lupe.
Which is great.
You love that.
Just this is great now. Like back then, like when I was up here 15 years ago, it's like, nah, y'all gotta know who I is, B. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I took the train here this morning.
Right.
You feel me? Where it's like I'm past all that. Incognito is like
How great does that feel for you?
Thing. It's good because the things that I'm doing outside of everything is like I couldn't, niggas wouldn't even appreciate shit.
Right.
Niggas wouldn't appreciate it. And so it's like, all right, why even bother? Like that's just yours. Hold that, Tell them about it in 40 years, and they're like, yo, he was really in there doing, like, well, all these white people fuck with him like that. Like, well, all these. It's like, oh yeah, because he was. Yeah.
He was really doing
Y'all
it.
just thought he was tap dancing and spitting raps. Like this dude was actually putting in culture work. Anyway, Drill Music in Zion, June 24th, Friday.
I think people want to hear that though. I think people love seeing a intelligent person from hip hop.
They do
doing things that are creative, artistic, ownership.
They do, just not in hip hop.
No, I think not on social media.
Yeah, hip hop, social media. But then there is social media that's not hip hop. Like there's a whole facet of folks with genuine interest, but I think hip hop don't care about none of that shit.
I don't know.
Listen, you don't know, so you just exposed your piece. I know.
Well, no, this is what I was gonna say. Shit. I don't know about like obviously mainstream and the greater kind of what controls the headlines, but in my world. The reason that you're sitting here and the reason that we continue to have conversations about the many projects that you put out that I love, whether it be here or at Apple Music, is because I know there is a segment that I try to speak to of people that want some intelligent conversation and to know that.
I'm not saying they don't want intelligent conversation. Hip hop's very intelligent.
Yeah.
It's intelligent on certain subjects. It's emotionally intelligent. It's intelligent in different capacities. But that doesn't mean hip hop is interested in fine art. It's trying. But it's not, right? And even when it does try to speak for it, niggas be like, nah. Like when they were like Virgil, rest in peace, was a hip hop designer. Niggas got out their body. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, dude's he's one of the most lauded individuals in the world.
Yeah. Wait, you said people was upset?
Hell yeah. Niggas was like, man, he not no hip hop designer. He everybody designer.
Did you see that, Laura? I never saw that.
Yeah, she saw it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Because you don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not in tune to that. Or maybe I'm blocking it out.
Yeah, and that's my man. So it's like, some things you just gotta leave off the table. Let people catch up or let people dwell in what they are. Rest in peace, K-Slay. I see the picture over there. Rest in peace, man. Yeah. K-Slay gave me one of my first mixtape looks in New York. One of the first. So,
wow, what year was that?
1985. Back in the day, B, you know what I'm saying? We was in Harlem painting trains and shit. That's how I learned how to paint. You feel me?
Out in the yards.
Rest in peace, K-Slade, man.
I love that discussion though about what hip hop does and does not care about though, because we are so enamored with, and too much, I believe, with chart position or what's popular or what's trending or these things, and
but that's where we come from.
Yeah,
that's where hip hop comes from. Some of it comes from. I mean, there's a whole controversial piece about hip hop because we got taught it in a certain way through a certain bias,
right?
Through certain people who wanted to promote a certain thing, and then when through the years I've been mentoring and apprenticing with painters and graffiti artists and stuff who were from the era, right, predating it, and there's a lot of other shit that happened where it was like not really. You're like, what? Not really? That just exposes a whole thing. And like, nah, that wasn't really how that was, And so, fortunately, I've been able to kind of deep dive into the culture a little bit. I'm not an expert by any means, but it's what I do, right? So you want to learn more about it. And it's a lot of it is like, we come from that. We come from charts. We come from selling records.
Well, look, I was just having that discussion the other day about Sugar Hill Gang, right? With that being like basically a pop boy band that was put together. They took Kaz's verse, you know what I'm saying, and had a #1 record in 1979. It was basically over, it was over a pop disco record. It was a put together group of some, people who kind of knew each other, and they made a radio record.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just made a record that was just popular.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And it hit. But I mean, I remember talking to Curtis Blow, and Curtis Blow, he was on Clubhouse, but I've talked to him like outside of that. But it was like he was talking about I think it was Christmas rapping. And it was a effort, right? To get that on radio. To go to the club where the DJ was playing and do the thing and the Russell Simmons and the tie. It was a thing. It wasn't like we stumbled over it in the park on 125th.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't like that. It was a thing. Get it played, yeah.
So I don't discredit or critique hip hop for having that piece. I think that's a part of what we do. These buildings and these relationships and these charts and these metrics and all that. We part of that. We come from that too. It's just half the story.
That's right.
But it is a good part of the story. So people using charts to say who the best. It's like, who's the best? Who sold the most records? I think that would be true in 1979. Who rocked the most parties? Who sold the most tickets to the park? That's who the best in.
Right. Who the people coming to see?
Yeah. But what about the lyrical, schmirical, mass miracle, herical, lyrical? Like niggas like, get the fuck out of here, B.
Did you moving the people or not?
Yeah. Did you sell some tickets? Didn't you get booed off stage last week at the Rucker?
But I think also too, I'm hearing you say too that, like you said, it's only half the story. There is another side that is the kind of the roots or the heartbeat, the nucleus, the culture that kind of. Because I've always been I love when people try to say hip hop is just one sound, because there's so many other sounds in hip hop and so many other movements. It's so vast and so broad and so many different types of expressions and just because the charts or the radio or mainstream gravitates to commoditizes a specific sound for their own ratings and revenue, right, doesn't negate that there's all this other great culture, as you articulated it, intelligent culture.
I mean, there's hip-hop is just a container.
That's right.
It's just a title for a thing that is flexible, so it bends to the wheels of time and to industry, right? In terms of intelligence, I think drill music itself. And just so people know, my album's not a drill music album. It's not a critique.
There's actually
of drill music.
two records that came out early, and when I went to listen to it, I thought maybe you'd be using drill beats and doing your thing. It's not that at all.
It's not that at all. It's from The Matrix, actually. But you take something like drill music from wherever, East Coast, the home, UK, whatever. It's very emotionally intelligent, right? It's very intelligent in terms of call and response. Like, I'm gonna do something, something's gonna happen. But it's like, I killed your man, so now you gotta come kill me. Like that's the thing. That's very intelligent. You know, it's like you recognize that you do something and then something happens. You know, for every action there's a reaction, right? So it's Newtonian in its level of like intellect and deep. Is it the most sophisticated thing to kind of have a conversation through? I mean, not if you want to talk about fine art. You know, if you want to talk about the nuances of who? Give me one. Botticelli.
Sure.
You know, but it's great for killing niggas. You know, which is part of the culture too. Hip hop been killing shit for 40 years.
Figuratively and literally.
For sure.
As a offshoot of American culture, I mean, American culture is built on.
All culture is built on killing something.
Killing.
You look at the Egyptian steles, with the king, you look at like, oh, look at what we did 2,000 years ago. He's standing on somebody's neck,
Right,
with a club in his hand finna kill something. You know, like drill music on the walls of the pyramids, their version. And then the stories that they would sing about the kings were how great he was. Great at doing what? Great at growing food? Like, nah, great he was for vanquishing the enemies. You know, and throwing their children
Pillaging.
into the river, raping and exiling whole communities into the, you know, that shit. So I mean, it's been around for everywhere, you know, part of the human condition. So I don't even think hip hop can take credit for that. Yeah.
No.
For sure.
I you know, I get exhausted by as you just pointed out, it's been going on forever. But I get exhausted by the constant hip hop being the constant kind of poster child for violence in America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I always make sure to relate it back to it being a child of American culture.
Yeah.
So that we don't remove or kind of like ostracize.
Yeah, but that don't do nothing. That don't solve nothing.
No, it don't.
When you do that, it just like it. What about them over there? And it's like, but nigga, I was talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And it give people opportunity to slide out. Like hip hop sells a lot of guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, legally and illegally, right? And you can't like unaddress that by like saying, like, oh, it's just part of America. Like, yeah, we know, nigga, like the guns are made in Georgia.
That's
you
right.
know, like they're made in California. There's a gun company in Illinois. Like it's probably some shit here in New York, right? Still gotta solve that. That don't mean that we need to shoot each other though. Like that don't mean we need to keep like egging it on. So that's part of that. It's like, yeah, we still need to. It's our culture. We built it. We still need to focus on the problems that are there and be honest with it. Yeah. So I've never liked that. I've never liked when niggas, nah, man, but you gotta think about these. You know, this dude just did this. This dude just shot up this thing down here. Like, nigga, you just shot up shitloads. Like,
Accountability.
Yeah, my man Chill, Free Chill. He was telling me like, yo, man, he's in prison, and he was talking about when one of the shootings. Pick one. One of the police shootings. He's like, pick one, whatever. And it was on CNN and in the rec room, whatever, watching TV. And he's like, all these niggas getting mad. These niggas getting upset. Man, he's fucking, geez, they're killing these niggas, killing this little boy. They did this, da da da. He look at that niggas like, nigga, you killed 3 niggas. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not for you to have a conversation, right? Maybe it's left for the people who ain't got no bodies to have those conversations. But nigga, everybody in here got bodies, one way or another. What the fuck are we talking about, nigga? You might as well be watching basketball or something right now. Like, change the channel.
You get mad at something that you did. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, drill music in Zion, but that's part of the record. This conversation that we're having is part of the record. Right. It is fine art. You were engaged by the painting. It's like, yeah, it's a painting that I did, you know, for a fine art institution, you know. And the title of the album is Drill Music in Zion, but it's not about drill music. You know, it's not a drill music album, what you thought it might have been, right? Drill beats and whoop, 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 and all that. Like, nah. It's a record that I did at the spur of the moment in like 3 days to see if I could do it. I wanted to do it in one day. And I almost died, like, trying to do that shit in one day. Because I forgot to sleep. I was like, nigga, you gotta sleep and eat. You remember that? Go to the bathroom, like, what are you doing? And so it took 3 days to do 9 songs. And it was no time to kind of plan. It was no like preconceived thing. Well, I'm gonna take an agenda and I'm gonna push it because I didn't have the time. You know, it's like, yeah, I gotta finish a song every 3 hours. A whole song. First heard the beat, write it, record it, go to the next. Then like trying to
make an exercise and discipline too.
Yeah, it's like climbing a mountain. So, where are we? What time is it?
Drill Music in Zion, Friday, June 24th. The fine art conversation, as you pointed out, this is a total piece, right? From the cover to your sister being in a poet to the discipline it took to put it together. We was just talking about accountability, and I love all of those ideas. Even when you talk about Drogas Wave, your last full project, another great idea where it was about slave ships and slaves falling off the ships.
I got the shirt on right now. Look at that. How opportune.
Wavy.
Right down. Max B, you feel me?
Critically acclaimed album, well thought out. But that took you much longer. Drogas Wave, you took more time on.
That took like a year maybe and some months to kind of construct. Maybe not that long. Let me not do that. Maybe not that long. But it took time. It took way longer than this. You know, spend 2 days on a song, 3 days on a song, versus 2 hours. But Drogas Wave is still alive. It's funny. I'm here in New York writing it. Like I'm writing a separate piece for a different institution. So it's interesting how that record came out in 2018 and it still is yet to actually land. I've never performed the first half of the record because I wanted to perform it in a very specific context because it means so much to me, you know. So I've had the past like 5 years I've been working on that. It's coming to fruition now. But yeah. Took much longer.
Can you talk about that first half of the Drogas Wave and why it means so much?
That's slaves who jumped off the back of slave ships and didn't die. And they became these spirits under the sea that went around sinking slave ships. Right? Mm-hmm. That didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
But I really wish it did.
Sounds great.
And so the top half of the record is I've never performed it. I've only performed the second half, so it's like a double CD.
Right.
And the second CD was about drugs. The top of the CD was about this myth. So I've just been figuring out a way to frame it to give it what I felt it deserved.
To make sure the look is right on stage, and
I just didn't want to perform it at BB King's and shit. You know, no disrespect, but I wanted to do it in a way that was like fine art. You know, because that's what it is to me.
Shout out to my team over at Apple Music. I want to thank you for the Galveston record for Juneteenth. A part of you gave us an exclusive record for our Juneteenth ensemble of music that we put together annually.
Yeah. Shout out to Carly Hustle.
Yeah, Carly Hustle. Yep. I just wanted to get your take. You've been around for a long time.
He set me
You're
up.
You're a black man in America.
Ooh, you set me up.
Juneteenth now is a federal holiday.
I'm going to tell you what happened.
Boom. Let's go. I knew he had one for me.
Right?
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Zane. I love Zane. Right? You know, I'm in tune with everybody. I'm not some outsider ass nigga. Like, what are you doing? I'm not like some outsider. Like, I know the industry. I know the people. I shout out the people who don't get shouted out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they're behind the scenes pushing and pulling. So I know these motherfuckers, right? And it's all love. So when I did my interview with Zane about Galveston, and we talk about the record, talking about this, which I won't get into. If you want to check that out, check out the interview with me and Zane.
Yeah.
But I mentioned in the interview how Juneteenth, not too long ago, niggas didn't give a fuck about Juneteenth.
Talk about it.
Right? At all. Niggas didn't even know what it was.
And when he says niggas, he means literally black folks in America who hadn't been brought up around it. Unless you was like I was brought up in the Bay. There was an annual in the park every year. Right? Houston, obviously. Galveston.
Major cities, you're gonna have a thing, right? I'm not trying to paint this on everyone, but just in general, it wasn't fucking Halloween. They didn't have
right.
Like Party City didn't have a Juneteenth collection. You know how like Halloween season, whatever that shit is, just pops up in the empty old Best Buy or some shit like that, and they're selling like ghost costumes and shit in there. They have like Galveston cakes and shit like that at Walmart. Niggas didn't care, right? And when I say niggas, I don't just mean black people. I mean white people too, because there's some white niggas out there. And I mentioned, I was like, you know, people didn't care about this. You know, I was always aware of it, but even for me, Juneteenth wasn't a thing because it wasn't constructed like that. It wasn't like a holiday, right? It was like some fucked up shit that happened.
That's right.
Right? And I was telling Zach, I was like, you know, it's interesting, you know, we're talking about Juneteenth, but now it's getting shine because it's corporate. Because Apple Music, Walmart, you know, and everybody under the sun, right? Now it's getting its due because you can make a buck off of it. Right? The top holidays are what? Like Halloween, Christmas, like things that companies can make money off of,
capitalize.
Right? And is there something wrong with that? No, but it's just a statement to be made.
That's right.
You're not gonna hear that in the interview.
Why?
Because y'all cut it out.
Word? It'll be in this one.
Right? So that speaks to something where it's like we from it. We the product of it. We understand how people were relating to it and dealing with Juneteenth and dealing with black issues and issues of black culture and celebration of black culture and what that throttling looks like and how we're still dealing with how we celebrate. Because there's some black people probably will never celebrate that shit, right? And there's some black people who don't know how, and some people who've been doing it since 1865.
That's right.
Right? But I mean,
It's one of the conversations we have up here, too, about the commoditization of the Juneteenth holiday and how America, as a society, commoditizes culture for its own, and corporations participate for their own gain, regardless of how the individuals who are descendants of or living with a specific experience have to navigate in dealing with it.
In response, we want a certain level of equality. We always push for equality, equity. So here you go. You have a day off. It's a weekend. Here's all of the festivities. Here's everybody's in it. All the companies are in it. You have to do it now because the federal government's making you do it. Same thing as, you know, President's Day and
Memorial Day,
Veterans Day. You got it. There's your equality. You know, shut the fuck up, right? The other part of that coin, apart from just like the equality piece, I lost my train of thought. Wasn't it like there's the equity, there's the equality. Yeah, I think that was good enough, right? Like this is like what more can we do? Oh no. The piece about American culture and culture's meant to be commodified. You can't show me something that hasn't been commodified or wouldn't exist.
And what you're articulating is both sides of the paradox of what you're dealing with in a society like the one we exist in.
To sustain a culture, it has to become commodified at some point. And it has to take on, it has to grow and be picked up by some forces that we of ill repute or things that we disenjoy to a degree, right? But that's the choice and the decision that needs to be made if you want to prolong it through history. Right. It has to be compartmentalized and packaged and marketed in a certain way that competes with Halloween, right? That competes with other big structures
and also
that we
to
look
keep
at.
The story
talked
about.
All
keep
that.
the story going.
Yeah, so it has to be. And, you know, I know you're a socialist and you hate money, Ebro, but that's just the way it has to, capitalism has to win. You understand?
Yo, you see how you tried to get me right there? You tried to get me.
You understand that, Karl Marx? Huh? Do you?
Of course
Black Panther Party? Capitalism has to win in order for Juneteenth to survive.
There it is. When you think about where you started in your career, right? Kick Push and, you know, all of those hits that you had early. At that time, like I hear you keep talking about fine art, which I think is dope because now you're talking about legacy, right? You're talking about these things that hold value over an extended period of time. Was that, and growing value over an extended period of time, even when I think about, you know, you being one of the early guys in the game that I knew of that was collecting art and collecting toys and making toys even back then, right? Did you know, like, because I remember hearing in the First and 15th, and I think you had a toy store or an office or something, or like a whole thing. But did you know what you were embarking on, or were you just trying to live out dreams and things in the beginning?
I mean, man of many interests, you know, come from a parentage of many interests, you know, my dad, all his layers. I don't want to get into the biography, but, you know, I come from a place where, you know, we did a lot of things. And so that's all I know how to do is a lot of things. I may not be good at all that shit. I don't think I'm that good at on this rap shit. Like, but I do it. You know, I have the tools, I have the opportunities. I do it. You know, I try and do it to the best of my abilities. So anything that comes around my way that I got a genuine interest in and a genuine skill level to do, I do. You know, so if it's some toys, it may not be creating the toys from scratch because I don't have that skill set, but I can definitely design at a distance, you know, present colorways, present ideas. And in some cases I can, you know, create something from scratch. It may not be the best shit, but it'll be something that's mine, you know. So for me, it's no different. Any avenue of the arts, storytelling really is my core, is what I do. I can tell stories through some pants that I can design, or I can tell a story through some songs, or I can tell a story just telling a story on the street corner, you know? Same difference. The reason I keep bringing up the fine art piece is because it's an integral part of the album. So it's like you listen to Drogas for the fans. Like I do this for the fans. Most people ain't gonna buy this record, just so we're clear. Like I know people hearing this right now, probably not hearing this right now. I'm not buying that shit. I haven't listened to Lupe Fiasco since motherfucking 1985. When he had that joint with K-Slay. Recipes K. Remember
I thought it was 85.
Lord, that's what I said, 85.
No, you said 95.
I said 85 just now. Remember that, Laura?
Yo, you can't fuck with
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yo,
you gotta
trap
fall
you up,
into
man.
this.
He want to trap you. Don't, man.
I can't.
But to keep the, I mean, K-Slay was a painter.
Yep.
Yes, Des.
For sure.
One of the first.
So the art piece is literally central to the record. Right. So I'm speaking this to the fans who like, oh, yo, this nigga was in here, had a whole conversation with Ebro about art. The fuck is he talking about? It's like, no, that's another piece of the album.
Right.
So there's a meta-narrative on the album.
What does meta-narrative mean when you use it like that?
Meta-narrative is a narrative that isn't present on the body of work, the physical one piece, but what's happening or how it's resonating and communicating.
It's kind of through the whole shit.
Communicating something different. So you may go and see, like I was at the Met, and it was this, there's a, I can't think of this dude's name, but it's a French sculptor who did this piece of this slave woman who was her bust and her head, and she was like in ropes, right? And it was like, why born a slave? Or something like that. Or born a slave, why? Whatever. And I was like, oh, yeah. But my mind was like, oh, you know what that looks like? That look like that Japanese tentacle porn. That's like a meta-narrative. Yes. Or like rope fetish. So it's still a fetishization, kind of like the body. But from a if you reference it to a different culture, that's kind of a meta-narrative.
Got it.
In real time.
Got it.
So if I did a song about that bust, I would relate it to Japanese rope kind of fetish. How that's still like a fetishization, which is what a lot of the art of why they painted black people with no clothes on, or painted black people in a certain state. We wore clothes and shit. Like even slaves wore clothes, right? But we always see them chest naked, titties out, shit like that. And it's because they looked at us in a sexual fetish kind of way, you know? And so the Japanese just embraced it. It's like, yeah, tie niggas up, bend them over the couch and paddle them on their ass. You feel me?
It's a thing. Definitely a thing.
Yo, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
But for us, it represents bondage.
That's right.
You know, it represents something.
It's not sexy to us.
It's not sexy at all, but somebody might jerk off to that.
Right.
In another setting.
Right.
So the narrative changes depending on the context.
This is Lupe Fiasco, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, y'all? Drill Music in Zion.
June 24th.
Go get that
promo.
Jesus is on there. Came back from the dead just to jump on the record. Even though, he came back from the back.
You think people gonna go get it now?
Yeah, Buddha's on there too.
Buddha's on there?
Yeah, Buddha's on there. Siddhartha's on there. You feel me? Vishnu's on there. Kicking
Vishnu
the verse.
in the building.
Yeah.
Respect
the
it.
Messiah's on there.
They all showed up.
Go get that. You get a
Yo, was it hard to get those collabs? Or you just had to reach out?
Nah, they're in there. They're in there in spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah, you get a free lottery ticket.
That's why I say you just had to reach out. You just had to tap in.
Yeah, you get a coupon to Chick-fil-A.
Yo, I told you. Laura was like, yo, what are we talking to Lupe about? I said, drill music design. She was like, what? I was like, trust me, when he get up here, he gonna take us on all type of shit around and about. You can't fall for it.
Yo, go get whatever I need to tell you to go get the record, go get the record. Whatever you feel you need to hear to go get the album, that's what I just said.
One of my favorite verses from you is on the Big Crit album.
Yeah.
On Catalactica, I think it was.
Yeah. No, my
Lost
favorite
Generation.
Yes.
Lost Generation.
Yes. They're not lost though.
Say what? They're not lost.
Yeah, niggas ain't lost out here, B.
Niggas ain't lost.
It's a myth. Niggas know exactly what the fuck they doing.
But anyway, I remember, I don't know if you recall this or even gave a shit at the time, but I remember you got blowback because of that verse.
Yeah, you know.
Because people don't get you. Like, they didn't get
niggas get, see, that's the thing. Niggas ain't lost, B. This see what I'm saying? Niggas ain't lost. Niggas know exactly why they don't fuck with me. You ain't gotta make up no shit
it's
not to fuck with me.
Generation.
It's like, yo, nigga, you said that shit about dude, I don't fuck with you no more. Like, that's why. So anything I say beyond that, I can say that the sky is blue. Niggas like, nigga, the sky is black. Niggas, black people. What the fuck? Blue-eyed devil niggas will find all kinds of shit to figure it out.
Around.
You feel me?
Try to make it wrong.
Let me stop cussing so we can clean this up. So, yeah, because of Martin Luther King.
Right.
Fuck Martin Luther King, nigga. Fuck change. Nigga, fuck change. Fuck peace. I want change. With Jesus on the end of that bitch like bang. Right? Fuck peace. I want a plane.
Right.
Fill that bitch with cocaine. You feel me? That's what niggas want, B. Like, niggas will say, because you mean I never said fuck Martin Luther King. Like, yes, you have. Yes, you have. He didn't want you killing white people. That's what he was on. He was like, man, I don't even want y'all touching these white folks. These niggas clearly fucking you up in the streets, sick of dogs on you, posing you. Don't touch these people. These devils. Right? Mm-hmm. Non-violence, extreme non-violence. Right? We're not going to Vietnam. We're not with none of that shit. They tried to kill him for that shit. People thought they tried to kill him because he was on some niggas can ride the bus. They was trying to kill him because he was talking about niggas shouldn't go to Vietnam. Right? Don't get it fucked up. You niggas ain't that important. Right? But when you start fucking with these global affairs, my G, like, let's not get it twisted. We will off you, dog. Right?
Dog.
So.
But I think that record says, and the reason I'm bringing it up right now is kind of, I want to play it. And then I want to play, what's the joint? I want to play Drill Music and Zion, the title track.
But my thought is this. Niggas was like, he said don't kill white, if he said don't even touch white people. Don't even respond when they pour milkshakes on your head. In the same era, right? Niggas was killing each other. All over America. San Francisco, all that shit. Niggas was offing each other. You got this dude from fucking Atlanta tell you you shouldn't even touch white people? You niggas is 30 clipping niggas to death. That's why I was like, yeah, fuck Martin Luther King. I never said that. No, you didn't say it, but you did it. Actions speak louder than words. Right? That's why I got in trouble, because niggas was more focused on me saying fuck Martin Luther King. Mm-hmm. But it's like, now I'm pointing out that you niggas do that shit every day. In real life. But yeah, let's play it.
Yo, I love this guy, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Let's play it.
I appreciate you.
What is it called? What's the name of the song?
Lost Lost Generation, man.
Yeah.
Lupe Fiasco. This came out a few years ago, but then I want to play Drill Music and Zion, which is off the new project, June 24th.
Yeah.
8th studio album. Congrats on that, too.
Thank you, man. All produced by Soundtrack. Mr. Kick Push, Mr. Paris Tokyo, Mr. Superstar himself did the whole record. So yeah, man, I'm proud of it. I like it. It's flawed, but it's good. Solid.
You hard on yourself, bro.
Solid little 10 joint.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that joint, the other joint that's crazy on there, the other one you dropped early.
The Autobotto joint.
Autobotto.
Yeah. That's just so niggas don't get bored on the album.
Give them a little tempo.
Yeah, like here's a little turn.
Now, I know we gotta get you up out of here. I got one last question too. What do you love right now? What have you listened to anything? Because I know how you get when you in your own zone. You don't listen to nothing else. You just
On the
be
happy
on your
side
own
of
shit.
life. Yeah.
Have you listened to anything that's out right now? And is there anything that you are entertained by? Have you had time for it?
Oh man, I watch a lot of van life videos on YouTube.
Van life?
Yeah.
You know
What's
what that is?
that? No.
Put me on.
Yeah, it's
Van
like
life.
niggas who live in their vans. Not in the shoes either. Like an actual van. For you smart Alex out there. Yeah, it's like dudes and like people.
And is
Don't
this
get in
by
the pronoun
choice or are
game.
these people without a home?
Some of it's by choice. Some of it's by like, they want to make YouTube money. Some of it's like people who genuinely like, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do the rigmarole. And I started watching it. My DJ, shout to my old DJ Double O from Kids in the Hall. Shout to Double O. Shout to Knowledge. We was riding around somewhere and he's like, yeah, people be living in their vans. He's a big camper, like dude.
Right,
He's
because that's
from the-
popular too. Glamping, camping, the Winnebagos, the RVs and all that.
Yeah.
So he one of those shit outside dudes, and I was like, yeah, I can't do that. But he was like,
I can't.
right? But he was, we driving around. I live in LA, and it was just kind of like you see, people just mad, and he's like, yeah, it's people who just do that.
Facts.
You see like a van in the middle of the parking lot, and you think it's like some old moving van or like somebody just, they work there. He's like, nah, that's a nigga with a whole kitchen in there and a refrigerator and a fucking Xbox. He just been
Wait,
in
and
there
they just
chilling.
prop up a little camera and document their lives?
Yeah, certain
Oh, so,
people.
and that generates money for them, right?
Yeah,
'Cause they-
some of them, and some of it's just something to do. But it's I got hooked on it because he mentioned it. He mentioned like stealth camping, and I was like, stealth camping, what's that? And I was like, let me check that shit out because I'm me, nigga, and I could do whatever the fuck I want to do. So I went on there looking for it, and I just got hooked. You find like certain people in it, like people, certain identities. Like it was this one dude, he don't move, like that's his shit. He just park in one place, and you got another dude, he be all over the fucking place.
Well, it's like the dude back out here behind the station. It's a man. I think it's 3 people. Sometimes a man, a woman, whatever. So in New York, they have alternate side parking. So, certain days you got to take your car from one location so they can clean the street, move it to another location. Dude been out back. I worked here 20 years. He been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he's in the car, but there's multiple cars, right, Shawnee?
Yeah.
That he switched the side, and he got one car that he found the exact location in the block where I don't think he has to move. You notice that?
Yeah.
And he don't get no ticket.
Yeah, nah.
But then
And it
nobody else
stays there,
can't
don't
find
move.
parking because he got the good spots because he on them early.
Yeah.
A's on him early. B's been on him for like 20 years. So you just see him out back. He feed the pigeons. I think that's his lady that shows up sometimes.
I think so. But
They
it's
keep
more
mad
common
stuff in the
than
cars.
you think. Somebody who works here lives a van life.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna tell you who it is.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right.
On some like, fuck the system, rent's too damn high. Fuck this.
yeah, Rosenberg,
And
he
he
lives
had-
in a van
Not
down by
quite.
the river.
Not quite.
Well, nah, he had a colonoscopy. He need a bathroom. He can't live in a van right now. His shitting outside game would be crazy right
oh
now.
God, come on.
Sorry, I mean, we was on shitting
So
outside.
get your colonoscopies though. You might have polyps and shit up your ass.
Yeah,
you gotta check
go
that
get
out.
that. You
you know?
gotta
That's
get that
very
check.
important.
Who, me?
Yeah, I'm pointing at you.
Yes,
Feel me?
everyone.
Because you already know, right?
Everyone.
You looked at me because you already know. You know
Stop
the black
making a
man
joke.
don't want no type of penetration in the wrong areas.
No,
The
you have to
stereotype.
get yourself
Yeah,
checked
until you
out
hit
to make
Rikers,
sure.
then you want to pump all kinds of shit, right?
Ay, Dios
Some of
mío.
them.
Yo, and
He
one
put
of the
that seatbelt.
reoccurring themes with Lupe, if you follow Lupe, is Lupe has always been big on the hypocrisy of us all in the human experience.
Yeah, we ain't shit, dog.
You see? Niggas will rationalize their own insanity to make themselves able to sleep at night
Listen,
and
man,
look in
we
the
are
mirror.
bipedal primates. Have you ever looked at how chimpanzees get down, B? We're from that. We're not from butterflies, my nigga. We're not from that shit, dragons and shit, unicorns, nigga. We're from fucking primates. These niggas be in the jungle wildin',
picking
B.
lice and eating it.
But no, they murder, they rape, they kidnap.
They do kid, yeah.
They do all that shit. Did you see the last meme with a dude with the orangutan grabbed the nigga
Oh
through
yeah,
the
yeah.
cage?
Try to get him through the cage.
Yes.
We grabbing niggas at the zoo and shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's where we're from. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's something wrong with that.
See? You see? It's all about balance with this guy.
Van
Lupe
life videos.
Fiasco,
Yeah,
man.
we out of here. Am I done? Did I take up
Nah,
too
I
much
could
of y'all
do
time?
it. Yo,
Y'all
you know
finished?
I could do this with you all day,
Y'all
bro.
finished in this mother? Huh?
What's name the biggest publishing check? Let's play a record for the
Publishing check. I don't get no publishing for Daydream.
What?
Yeah. You know that, right?
No.
You didn't know that, right? That was one of the reasons I would come up here with the stink face, because I just left Atlantic and they were like, yeah, so we just, Daydream. You ain't get no publishing, nigga. So every time that song plays, I get nothing.
So
not a thing. So let's play it.
You see how he is, man?
Let's get a spin on Daydream. Yes,
What
spin
about
it.
Kick Push though? What about any of that?
Yeah, I guess. I haven't seen a publisher check it. I don't know how long. Last publisher, I got something from BMI for like $30.
Oh Lord.
I don't get spins. Y'all don't play my shit. Y'all play out of my head. That's it.
Out of my head.
See, he don't even know. It went out of his head.
I was on.
See how that
Out of
works?
my head was done by Jerry Wonder. That's that's
Shout out to
family.
Jerry Wonder.
That's my brother.
Yeah, shout out to Jerry Wonder, Trey Songz. Yeah.
You get any money on that?
Bruh, did you just hear what I just said?
Damn.
You got to get spins and syncs, licenses. You know what I'm saying? Streams.
Would you even be interested in trying to get those records back so that you can monetize them for
What's
later?
this magic of which you speak, sir?
I mean, I read about artists doing this.
You read about that shit. That shit not.
It's not common.
It's not. One is. I'm gonna go out and say it's not true.
Oh.
Right? Leo Cohn. What's up, Leo? How you doing over there? You good? Okay. Leo once told me, I asked for my master's. And this nigga said, what, you want him in a suitcase? What, you gonna do, walk around with him? And I took it offense. Like, you son of a bitch. Because they wanted to give me a 360. And I was like, in order for me to get 360, I need masters. Because that's collateral. Because you niggas ain't really offering shit. Except a loan. I got $1 million.
Bad loans, by the way.
Terrible loan.
Right.
But in that what I learned 10 years, like literally maybe a year ago, it dawned on me of what he was saying. He was saying like, nigga, what are you gonna do with him? And if I had to answer, which I should have had, which was, oh, I'm gonna find the licensing company.
Boom.
I'm gonna do a bunch of syncs with it, and but my dumb ass was just like, I just want him because
they mine.
Because Jay-Z got his.
Right.
Right? But it's like your master's only as good as what you can do with him. If you can't do shit with him, then they're worthless. You might as well just walk around with them in a suitcase. But Leo doesn't tell you that because he's a fucking snake. But that's what he meant in his way of being unable to communicate except through the fangs of a demon. You feel me?
Right.
But what he was really saying was like, no, what's the utility, my good son? Like, what are you going to do with them? And do you have a plan? And if you don't have a plan, we do.
Right.
And it's probably best to leave your masters with us because we'll go work them. You'll be on NBA and you'll be on the television. We have a guy whose whole job is to just do that. But the way he sells it.
He don't tell you that.
They don't tell you that
They
shit.
don't tell you that.
What's up, Leo?
They don't tell you that.
YouTube music. What's happening?
Right.
See how I like to just shoot myself in the foot from time to time, Laura? Because I don't, yeah. Cause,
But how good does it feel to not have to give a fuck, though?
I care.
You do?
A little bit.
A little bit. Some days.
Some
not
days,
others.
some today, no. Give a fuck. My album is June 24th. Right. What are you gonna do? You can't stop me, B.
Right.
I'm invincible.
That's Lupe Fiasco, y'all. I like this guy, man. I tell y'all, get this album, man. Applaud this man. Applaud this man. There you go.